I'm going to go into the 5 things you need to know about this Pisces full moon. So grab your journal if you don't already have it out. What's going to happen, and I'll just go through the rundown. So we're going to go over the 5 things you need to know about this Mercury Pisces full moon. We're going to choose into the ceremony. We won't let anybody in at that point. We're going to do clarity. So there's going to be prompts that come out of the 5 things you need to know about this Pisces full moon. Write down, and I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 prompts from the 5 things you need to know. But also, if there are prompts that bubble up for you, questions you want to go deeper on, we can do that in the clarity section. So in every new moon or full moon goddess ceremony that we do in Goddess Church, we go over the 3 C's: clarity, clearing, and committed action. So this will be the clarity section of our session today. We will go over the prompts that bubble up and the 5 things you need to know. Clearing, we're going to do a visualization and a clearing, a cutting of cords, and then committed actions. What are the steps I get to take moving forward that I have gotten clarity on in going through this process? We'll choose one thing to step into as opposed to boiling the ocean. Pick one thing. Upcoming next week, we will have our regular tribe session. I am back. School's in session. Ding, ding, ding. We'll be back 9 o'clock for 1 hour of transformational power on Saturday. So if you are in tribe, which most of you are that are here, I see, we'll see you next Saturday at 9 a.m. So put it on your calendar. Also this week, Wednesday, we are back to daily kickstart once a week on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. This week, we're talking about Mercury retrograde, how to have Mercury retrograde work for you. And Kristen, one of our Women on Fire, is going to be facilitating that with Laura and I. And then, Monday, I'm going to the Emmys. I don't know if you saw me post. I need a gown. I'm figuring out gowns. Gowns are coming to me. I'm getting fitted tomorrow for gowns. But also Monday is Milkshake Monday. So most of you know I run a nonprofit called Comedy Gives Back. A little over a year and a half ago, Adam Sandler walked into a IHOP, and the hostess, not knowing who he was, in his mask, said there was a 45-minute wait and turned him away. And then she realized who it was, did a mea culpa online, and Adam Sandler responded with, "I wasn't upset about the wait time. I just didn't realize it was not all you could drink milkshakes." So they made an ad campaign about it called Milkshake Monday and gave us, Comedy Gives Back, $50,000. And they're repeating that again this Monday. So if you go into an IHOP, you can get all you can do, or 2 for 1, I think, milkshakes, and $1 of each milkshake, up to $50,000 will go to Comedy Gives Back. So if you're craving a milkshake, go get it on Monday at IHOP. That's all I got to say about that. So welcome, everybody. It's lovely to see you, to have your energy here. We are going to hop into the 5 things you need to know about this Pisces full moon. Any questions before I get started? It's a lot. There's a lot of information here. So get out your pens, get out your papers, and I invite you to look at prompts where we can go deeper, things you want to go deeper on in this conversation. So this is the Pisces full moon happening today, September 10th. So know that we're in that moon energy 3 days before, 3 days after. So you have 3 more days of this energy that you can leverage in order to tune the dials of what you get to step in this season. And it is about a season. Those of you who've been with me for long, you know, we talk about the sacred tree, about spring coming up the trunk of the tree, summer, an idea, a relationship, a belief in full blossom and bloom, a project. And then as seasons do, the leaves on the trees fall off. They don't hold on for dear life. They let go and fall, creating space for what's next. Using that wisdom, using those leaves as nutrients that fall to the ground and fortify, become the nutrients of the next idea, the next relationship, the next process that moves through. And this Pisces full moon is asking us to do that. It's about manifesting our gifts. Let's see. Did you write your intentions for the new moon? If you did, it's an opportunity right now to go back and reflect on what you wrote down to manifest in the new moon and where that is in the process of coming into the physical realm. That's a side note. Number one, insecurities. Release your insecurities. This fall season is about shedding, about letting go. Let go of your insecurities. Your inner child gets to heal. This letting go is creating space for new opportunity. We're actually going to talk more about trusting your intuition. Pisces is a lot of intuition. So letting go of old beliefs, old behaviors, familial roles that you have chosen to be in now is asking us to let that go. Like these insecurities, it's interesting when we reflect on insecurities. I remember when I was, I don't know, 5 years old, I was at my church's recital and I was supposed to like sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star or have like a line or a verse of a song. I literally have this picture. I'm in like a red jumpsuit with a white vest. It was so snazzy. And the girl before me didn't go. And in that moment, I chose not to go. I chose that I was going to be coy and shy and take on this insecurity of not using my voice in that moment. How long did I hold on to that? I probably still have parts of that today, right? Like, where did I choose an insecurity that's actually not mine? Number one. And number two, what is an insecurity that really no longer serves me? That maybe it served me at one point in my life, but it no longer serves me. And really, my insecurities, what are they serving? They're protecting something that is probably inevitable. So what do we get like this fall season? What I get to let go of what insecurities, write them down. If they pop into your head, let it go, write it down. So you can acknowledge it. Because we'll go like, oh yeah, I know that one. Write it down, because then it's like real, so we can actually release it. This Pisces full moon is connecting us. Pisces connects us with the unseen world. Our magic has been suppressed. And now is the hour to tap into this unseen world. This is a life when you didn't trust. Times in life when you didn't trust your inner world. Just notice where we stuff down our inner knowing, when we stuff down our intuition versus trusting us not to go to that thing, not to see this person, not to make that call. Owning our magic, awakening our gifts. Pisces are attuned to the unseen world. Tap into your intuition. Get quiet and tune in. It's asking us, use this time. Tune in. Spirit is sending you signs. How many of you have seen angel numbers, spirit animals, asking us to keep our eyes open, all our senses open? Because if you are listening, you will see the signs are all around you. Literally a hummingbird has flown into my house. And I'm going to tell you what this means, the hummingbird, in the spiritual journey. So I was just at Burning Man, and our camp was all about the medicine wheel. And in the medicine wheel, north is the hummingbird, It is fire. That is shamanic energy. It is agape love. So unconditional, omnipresent love. It is passion. It is high vibration. You have a notion and it manifests immediately. And I'll say, being at Burning Man, you have a notion, it manifests immediately. So you get to be really clear what you want to manifest. And if you aren't clear, what's the saying? We actually repeat it in this. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That is a very immediate environment where that can happen. And you may not even notice it in the moment. But the hummingbird came here today in my windowsill to remind us of our fire, passion, our shamanic energy, and agape love. And that when you have the notion, you can manifest immediately. So this will come into play as we unfold this today. Journal your dreams. This is a period of time that our dreams are super potent. I know I've had crazy dreams. I am not journaling them. So thank you for the reminder, Spirit, to journal your dreams. How are the lessons in these dreams, in these visions, serving us? All right. The card that came up was soulmates. So all relationships are our soulmates, not just romantic relationships. We are all soulmates traveling together. So here are your mates that you're traveling with. And it goes back and asks us if you're dreaming about your ex. If an ex pops up in a dream, something is asking to be healed. So what we talked about, Mercury retrograde, those lessons, have we learned them? The lessons of our past relationships. And I'm gonna move that out to not just romantic relationships, but all relationships, all soulmates. That's your friends, that's your family, that's your lovers, that's if you are dreaming about them, what is the lesson that was to be learned? Did you learn it? Have you integrated it into your life? And if not, here is an opportunity to highlight it again. And you know that thing, you know it's popping up in your mind right now. Write it down. What do we say? We say this all the time. 60% chance of coming to fruition when you write it down, 95% chance when you speak it into a conscious group of people. So write it down so that you can remember it, so that you can address it. We're not sticking our heads in the sand this full moon. If you haven't dealt with text or the people texting you from the past, this could be old issues, old contracts, legal matters, taxes. I'm dealing with my taxes right now. I put it off and put it off. What are the things that get to be dealt with now? Things that are coming back around. The next piece of this, and this is all number one under insecurities, the fall season is about shedding and letting go of insecurities, is deep knowing. You already know. What are my deep knowings? This is a good prompt. Actually, I'm going to add this to our prompt list. What are my deep knowings? What are my deep knowings? The things you know that don't seem rational, don't seem practical, don't seem probable, but you know this thing is going to come to fruition. You know that everything's going to be okay. You know that, fill in the blank. Deep knowing. What are my deep knowings? And it's just asking us to trust ourselves. Trust this intuition, trust this deep knowing, trust the inner world, the unseen world, that, you know, we only see this much of everything happening, going on. There's all of this other unseen energy that is going on. Trusting my intuition, trusting my knowing. And it asks us to sit in it, sit quietly in it, listening to your knowing. How can I trust my inner knowing more? How can I trust my inner knowing on an ongoing basis? All right, number two, seeking greater connection outside of ourselves. This can be a weakness is the word I'm looking for. Like it can be what's the word I'm looking for? We're not looking outside of ourselves for validation. The fact of the matter is, when we seek outside of ourselves, everything is inside of us. So seeking outside of ourselves for validation, and this is particularly around our spirituality. Anybody who's listening to this right now has been on a spiritual journey and understands that you have gifts and talents inside of yourselves, that your intuition and your knowingness within actually is potent and powerful, and that everything outside of ourselves is really just made up, an illusion anyway. So how can I choose to trust my spirituality, taking in what resonates for you and with you, and leave the rest, practicing your gifts and intuition, versus allowing others to say, oh, that whatever, that's hocus pocus, that's not rooted in truth. What is truth? And then the last piece of this is fear of the dark. How many of us are afraid of the dark, the actual literal dark, which equates, and maybe when you were a child, there was fear of the dark, but ultimately it's fear of the unknown, fear of death. And when you are in the knowingness and trusting of your intuition, of your deep knowing, then you get to release that idea that you're not an infinite being, that the unknown is scary. The unknown is always revealing itself to us. So what part of that do we get to shed now? Maybe we're waiting for money to come in. Maybe we're waiting for an opportunity. Maybe we're seeking relationship or love. And when I shed that, when I let go of the construct of the physical realm, it leaves us with a really big question of, then who am I? If I'm not these things, then who am I? And without this, I am undefined. Yet here I am. Take that piece in again, right? So if I'm not all this stuff, all this running around, all this blah, 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 all this love relationship, if I'm not my family's fill in the blank, then who am I? Yet here I am. And I get to define how that moving forward, I get to co-create that with myself and the universe. What do I even want that to look like? What would life even look like if I actually created it? If I took responsibility for 100% of what my life looked like and what I was creating in the world? We're going to come back to that one in the clearing section, start to percolate on that for sure. Yeah. What parts do I want to reclaim? So we'll go into this in step 3 about reclaiming our play, our inner child, our wide-eyed excitement and full realm of possibility versus what we think or know the universe or life restraints, constraints, reality to be. Choose self, connection to self, or you are pleasing other people. Enjoy the growth, enjoy the rewards. Claiming where you are at. What can you celebrate and what have you healed? So enjoy the growth. Again, this is Mercury retrograde reflecting back how I am not choosing X, Y, and Z relationships, or I healed this part of me, or what do I get to celebrate of my growth? There are new ancestors coming in at this time in this portal. They're coming to support you. You, in those times that you are quiet, when you are tuning in, ask for these new ancestors and what they're here to support you in. Ask where they get to guide you. What are they supporting you with? The next piece of this is your soul voice activates people. Not being a victim of your insecurities, but your voice transforms others, but not if you are disconnected from it. Claim it. So it's asking us to use our voice, that when we use our voice is medicine for others. Literally what we're sitting here doing in this circle right now, right? Share your voice, claim it. Now, this is a masculine, feminine balancing act a little bit. You are not here to please everyone. You are not here to please anyone for that matter. If voice is moving through you, spirit's moving through you, your intuition is moving through you, it may not be happy, happy, joy, joy, right? You may be sharing things that others aren't ready to hear yet. It is not your job to sugarcoat it, to stuff it down, to conform to others. You get to share your voice, what is moving through you, and your truth. This is like breaking the good girl myth we talk about in Women on Fire, right? We're not here to placate. When I placate, I am lying. If it is not my truth, if I am not in alignment, if I am saying yes just to keep the peace, that is not truth. And in fact, it's lying. That one always blows my mind. It blows my mind. Because how many of us, I do it all the time. How many of us white lie? Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah, I'll go to that thing. Yeah, okay. Yes, I want to do that thing. You don't, right? You don't want to do it. So why are we doing it? To placate, because it's going to be easier. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to have the ramifications of it. If this, then that. But these are our words create our world. If we're lying, we're creating a lie-filled world. This isn't our truth or alignment. I mean, that's how like microscopic we get to get in this. We do it, all of us do it all the time. I mean, I'm not going to throw you under the bus. I'm going to speak for myself in that, like, I say yes to things I don't want to do all the freaking time. Who can relate? That is co-creating a world of agreement of things that we don't agree to. And if you think about it, we stack upon, I use my mom as this example where she's giggled at my stepdad's inappropriate jokes for 40 years of marriage. Now, my stepdad says inappropriate jokes all the freaking time. Everybody rolls their eyes, but my mom still giggles out of uncomfortableness, right? She's uncomfortable. But because she didn't say anything for 40 years, he thinks like a Pavlovian, an experience is that he's pleasing her. She created that. And now the whole family have to suffer it. Right? So like, that's a right. It's like, oh, where am I rewarding behavior that is not in alignment for what I say I want or for me, and I reward the behavior with a giggle, with a laugh, with a just do it anyway, just shrug it off, whatever, that then cut to 40 years later has become your life and your world. So use your voice. That was a really long rant to say use your voice. Take charge of your voice. Now is the time. This clears karmic debts when I use my voice. Authority to speak the truth. This is the portal. The prompt here we're going to come back to is, how are you going to claim your voice? Am I going to, when things come up that I'm not aligned with, am I going to say I'm not aligned with them? Maybe that's one thing. Am I going to, like, when something moves me, am I going to speak into it? When I'm not going to wait for having the right answer, I'm going to speak and be part of a conversation. I don't know. How are you claiming your worth? How are you claiming your worth in this? Take charge and change. You can be fierce and stern through love. So this isn't being a dictator. This isn't being bitchy, right? This is just like when I'm rooted and grounded in my truth and I'm speaking from truth, it's what's so. It's not this, it's not shoving it down somebody else's throat. It is really just rooted, right? Rooting ourselves in our truth, taking charge. Be bossed, be a boss or be bossed. Be a boss or be bossed. That is the same as stand for something or I'll fall for anything, right? So welcome to those who've joined us. All right, that was just number 2. The rest are pretty quick. All right, so just so you know. Number 3, inner child play. What we thought impossible is possible. Where have you been an adult? Where have you been an adult? We are being asked to play. Feminine energy, flow and play. And the masculine claiming it. So both sides of us, right? Flow and play and claiming it. Script out, what does your inner child want to experience? What does your inner child want to experience? You know, I just took like 2 months off celebrating 50 days of 50. And, you know, what does your inner child want? Asking these questions, we could be so far out of using that muscle. It's really a foreign language. It took days to get into the mode of play on the playa. Now, obviously, there's survival and like trying to just survive, but then there's also wonder and play. Where can I step into wonder and play? Am I allowing myself enough? Can I find a container, meaning someone to hold space for me? Maybe that's a class, you know, maybe that's a group of women where I feel safe enough to let down my guard and play. And from the play, so when I got to the play, I was there to build, and the first day they had me making signs. So I got to paint on wood, making signs. It was so fun. I loved it so much. I was like, this is my work, is making these signs. I'm having a great time. And it tapped into my creativity. I felt feminine. I was proud of my work. I would never do that, right? So like, what could I, maybe you take a painting class. Maybe you go dance on the beach. Maybe you know, fill in the blank. So anything that may bubble up of ways to play. How can I tap into my inner child and my ways to play? Ways to play. All right. Dream big. In this scripting is dreaming big. What did you dream about as a child? What did you want to do? Did you want to ride on a fire truck? Did you want to, you know, ride roller coasters or frolic through fields? Really tap into that. And September through January is really asking us to shed that adulting, the shoulding all over ourselves, and getting back into our imagination, into our ease and flow, our expansion, our play. That's number 3. Number 4, waiting game. Reminder to wait for the crumbs to follow. So we asked for manifestation. Why is manifestation not here? What is going on? Kick. Let's go. It is a reminder to allow the crumbs to show up. And then when the crumbs show up, then follow the crumbs, not just brush off the crumbs, because crap, there's crumbs on my counter. Follow the crumbs into the pathway that is being illuminated for you. In the meantime, we get to do this releasing work, the dreaming, the claiming of our gifts that we talked about. So do the inner work, do the play, do the claiming of your gifts, go into your inner world while the rest is coming, like the world is jiggering in a way to come meet us where we get to go, right? And it's where we raise our vibration. The universe meets us. We're tuning our dials to 98.7 or 94.9 BMIR. That's for sure. Our new favorite radio. Tuning the station in order to meet our manifestation, what we are calling in. How would it feel to not be insecure, to not have my insecurities rule me? This asks us to be in the now. This is claiming now. You can't control the past. You cannot control the future. What you can control is now, being fully present to now. Not pressure on self. When it comes when we are ready. You have what it takes. You have no control over the future and past. You control now. This is your choice. So choose. Be direct in what you want. And this is the last prompt that we're going to take on in the clarity section. Be direct in what you want. State this now. As anybody who's taken a class of mine knows, we set a GPS, get very specific on what you are calling in. We get mamby-pamby about this. We're like, I want happiness. Well, what does happiness look like to you? I want money. I want, you can get $5. I have pennies follow me everywhere. What do you want? I want $10,000 in my bank account. I want $10,000 physically in my bank account by September 31st, 2022. Get specific. It's asking us, be direct on what you want. What do you want? What do you want your life to look like? Healthy masculine, directional, believe it, ownership of it, claiming it. That is the claiming, the masculine, claiming it. And number 5, how do I people please through my insecurities? Oh, Lord, write that one down. So, I mean, this has definitely been a theme throughout these 5 things you need to know about this Pisces full moon. How do I people please through my insecurities? Ways I can fill up my cup in order to ways I can fill my cup in order to step fully into my voice. Maybe that means doing vocalizations or leading part of a full moon ceremony, or I don't know, fill in the blank. Signing up to do a speech. So those are the 5 things you need to know about this Pisces full moon. Questions, awarenesses that came up, quick shares around the room. Who would like to share what landed for you?